We read about the false prophet. What's a false prophet? Although he established himself as a true prophet by, as the Torah says, by performing a revealed miracle and forecasting the future, but if he tells Klal Yisrael, and he speaks in the name of Hashem, that we should do idolatry, conclusively, beyond any doubt, he's a false prophet. But you realize it's not so simple to reject his position. Why? He's a man who has the ability to perform miracles, perform the revealed miracle. He knows the future, as he forecasted the future, and it came to fruition what he said would happen. So there's a slight degree of intimidation. You're fearful of this person because the man wields power. The Torah says, "Lo shishma al divri hanovi yahu ala cholim acholim ahu." You shouldn't listen to what he has to say. Ki menasa Hashem Elokeichem eschem. God is testing you. Now, what is he testing you? Where does the test lie? In Amunah? Do you believe in him or do you believe in God? Menasa Hashem Elokeichem eschem lodas hayeshchem oavim es Hashem Elokeichem chol levavchem chol nafshchem. The test is, do you love him with all your hearts and all your souls? That's the question. If you love Hashem sufficiently, you're going to reject this man. And you will see him as the arch enemy. But if you don't love Hashem sufficiently, then you can embrace and you're going to follow what he's saying. What does this have to do with love? Now, how does one come to love Hashem? We read in the Kriya Shema, we just had, a Jew has an obligation to love God with all his heart, to give his life, all his soul, and he'll give away all his material. Then it continues, these words should be on your heart, and you should disseminate it to Talmidim, to students. So the Sifri says, how does one come to love Hashem? Through the study of Torah and through the dissemination of Torah. If a person studies Torah sufficiently and you disseminate it to students, that will engender a love for Hashem through Torah. Through your spiritualization, now, when a person studies Torah, as we've been discussing recently in Nefesh HaChaim, it purifies you, it spiritualizes you, so that you as a physical entity take on a certain spiritual persona. Your senses become spiritual if you study Torah properly. As a physical being, we're needy. We need protection. We're intimidated. So where do we gravitate to? To the safe haven. What's the safest? What's most protected? So if this man is intimidating, what happens? You gravitate and you submit to him, although he says things which are not 100% acceptable, but we justify somehow. But if a person has sufficient avos Hashem, you love God. Loving God means I'm not intimidated by anyone. I will not compromise on my relation with Hashem for anything, even for my own existence, even to die. I will not compromise on that. So therefore, accepting the words of the Navi or not accepting the words of the Navi, what is the Nisoyin, what is the test? He's testing you, do you love God with all your hearts and all your soul? If the Ava is sufficient, Ava sufficient means, that means you've been spiritualized. There's no intimidation, because whatever the consequence of this man's actions are, whatever they may be, it has no relevance to you. Because he's so enmeshed with God, due to Ava, what he says is meaningless. His threat is meaningless. He's not intimidating. And that's the question over here. Is he or not? We had once said, name it Orach Chaim HaKodesh, it says that Moshe Rabbeinu proved that he's the Goel, revealed miracles, whatever it was. And then when Paro withdrew the subsidy, and Moshe Rabbeinu communicates to them the four expressions of redemption. And the Torah tells us, Lo shomu leMoshe because ruach me'avoda kosher. They did not listen to Moshe because they were short-winded and because the overwhelming hard work because they had to meet the quotas. They're going to be beaten. So Chaim HaKadosh says over there, why didn't they listen to Moshe? It was clear Moshe was the Goel. He was the Redeemer. He proved it. Daled L'Shani Gula, he says, because they were not B'nai Torah. They did not have Torah yet. They were not B'nai Torah. He says because when a person is a Ben Torah, has Torah, it's Marchiv Liba Shel Adam. It gives you a broadness, it gives you a capacity to be able to weather every storm. And because they were not B'nai Torah, they didn't have that broadness of heart, it was too much for them. And therefore, it was pitting the work, being tortured, versus listening to Moshe. Although they believed in Moshe, didn't. They have to deal with the present. The present is we're going to be compromised. The present is this Navi, we're intimidated. There's going to be serious consequences. That's only if you're not spiritualized. But if you're a Ben Torah, and you have the Archavas Alev, you have the broadness of heart, you have that capacity, the depth of understanding, that it's internalized into your core, then there's no intimidation, and then you will reject this prophet.